Okay, the time is now 1 o'clock. Welcome to our July 30 or 21st, 2025 meeting. We'll start today with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first item on the agenda is Kim Erdley. Today we're going to accept the bids for reassessment.
Good afternoon. Andy, did you have a chance to look everything over? Was everything okay?
Is the SRI agreement a part of this too?
No.
Okay, no, yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
What do you have for us, Kim? I know that you took the time to review the bids and make sure that everything fell in line with what we
I did, yes.
were looking for.
Obviously, we have a difference in our bids as far as cost with Nexus coming in under Vision Government Solutions. And then there was a scoring sheet in there, and I went ahead and made some notes on that. Nexus passed all of the scoring as far as pass fails and as far as their points and how the breakdown of that was for the information that was provided in the summary of the employment verification, qualification as far as the application being enclosed in the bids from the DLGF, which is to be approved by the DLGF. Nexus had that in their bid, so I couldn't really evaluate correctly on the other bid because that was missing in their bid. So, that my recommendation is that we continue to retain Nexus for the next 4-year cycle.
Any questions for Kim?
None.
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from Nexus.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that passes with 2 members present.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
Thanks, Kim. The next item on the agenda is the Whitley County Transit year-to-date report. Jim Johnson.
Thank you. I am not here to ask for money. I just want to give an update on what we do, and since you folks are our pass-through and our supporter of what we do with the county, I just want to give an update quickly of the impact of your support of transit. I've got a chart here that you're looking at. This is January through June. Of course, our school trips are going to start jumping up there next month when school kicks back in. We're already having parents call in to start scheduling their bus appointments, their bus trips. Really of note here is, and I didn't update this, I had this initially for May, but right now we've driven over 108,000 miles, mostly here in Whitley County. We're on track to do, when school kicks back in, we'll be driving a lot more. So we're well over 200,000 miles for the year. And our trips are going to be over 26,000 miles. A lot of people ask, so are we only taking seniors since we're the Whitley County Council on Aging? No, we take anybody and everybody because we are public transit. So I'm just going to read through this list because this is what happens. If somebody's car breaks down and it's in the shop for a long period of time, or they can't afford to get it paid for right away, but they need to get to work. We take a lot of people to work and we take them home again. Maybe they lost their license for another reason and we can take them to work and get them back home again. People who have mobility needs. We have 12 vehicles and 11 of those are all prepared to take somebody in a wheelchair, whether it's a minivan or a minibus. People need to get to the doctor's appointment, again, any age. People need to get lab work and then go back home. Same thing for the pharmacy. We take people to dialysis clinics since we don't have one here in Whitley County. We run people to Fort Wayne, to Auburn, and Huntington. We used to run them to Warsaw. For veterans, if they need to go to the VA, whether it's in Fort Wayne or Marion, those folks rely on us. There's a lot of people who have to get to work before the school bus arrives, and so they drop their kids off at a babysitter who's not on the bus route. We pick up those kids and take them back home again. We take children to specialized daycare, like an autistic center. We do that, throughout the year. If seniors do need a ride to the Woodlands, our activity center, that happens almost on a daily basis. If somebody needs to go to the grocery store and they don't have transportation, we do that. And then, of course, we obviously take everybody home from that. Lots of things that we do there. So just some facts. Anybody, as I said, can ride Whitley County Transit. It's not just for seniors. We do take people out of the county, but that costs more. It's around, I think, $58 round trip. We've taken people to Indianapolis if they needed transportation for treatment like at IU Med Center. Costs substantially more, but we do that. We require a 48-hour reservation just so we know how to handle all of our fleet and our drivers. As I said, we have 12 vehicles. They are minibuses, minivans. All are equipped with lifts or ramps except for one, and then we use that for sometimes day trips. We have about a 14-passenger thing there. Our drivers, they're trained on securing wheelchairs and scooters safely in their vehicle. In fact, I went through that training last week. It's called PAT, or Personal Assistance Training, that the state provides. You have to go through the class, pass a written test, and then pass a practicum test on literally how to strap down a wheelchair or a scooter safely and securely in the buses. Passengers have to wear seatbelts at all times. That's a state regulation, and we require that. It's in our buses. Our drivers are periodically screened for drugs or alcohol. Those are surprise screenings. They're not told when that's coming up. And if the public doesn't know, we're regulated by NDOT, so we don't get to make stuff up. We have to follow their rules and the regulations. And as most Indiana Transit, especially the nonprofits like us, you guys are our commissioners are our pass-through agency. So everything runs through you. That's why I'm peppering Chad with a lot of paperwork to get signed. You're going to start seeing some of our minibuses getting wrapped in advertising for local businesses. Mobility Plus just signed on to do that. 5 Lakes coffee shop will be doing that, and Bowen Health. So I've reached out to several other companies on that. If you know, or the public knows of anybody else who would like to do that, it's like a billboard, except that it doesn't stay stationary. Our vehicles, if you know, they drive all over the place. But we want them wrapped because it gets good exposure, and it's a good source of income for us as well. Because right now our white buses look like prison buses, and we want to make them look a little bit nicer than that. And pretty soon we're going to be able to transport Medicare, Medicaid citizens through WellsTran, which contracts through Anthem. We contract with an organization called Verida, which does Medicare, Medicaid folks, but they have to be 60 or younger. This is going to be 60 plus, so we're finishing up the paperwork on that, and we're going to be their preferred provider. And just anecdotally, I was at Kroger about a month and a half ago, and I had a lady, I was buying some balloons for a thing we were doing at the activity center, and she realized, where I worked, and she said, I got to tell you, several years ago, you guys really saved us, my family. She goes, I'm a single mom, I changed jobs, I needed to get the kids to school, but I was going to be working when they needed to get the kids to school. I didn't have anybody to back, I didn't know what to do. And somebody said, contact Whitley County Transit. She goes, I'd never heard of you guys. I did it. She goes, I've never regretted that. She said, you guys came, picked up my kids. My kids got to be friends with the driver. I felt safe and secure. We never had any issues. She goes, you guys saved me during that point, because otherwise I would have had to quit my job and figure something else out. So I got my job, my kids got to school safely, they got home safely, and the driver became a friend. So I share all of that. I know it's just a lot of information packed in there, but just wanted to tell you guys thank you, because you guys make that happen. As I said, I'll be coming back probably in an upcoming meeting, because the Q2 report is getting finished up, and we'll need a signature on that documentation. But instead of just coming to talk about that, I just wanted to say thank you for your support of Whitley County Transit.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate the report.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for the update.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is the SRI agreement. And who?
That was
is
just
here?
submitted to Kay and I. Kay's been working with SRI to get the next tax sale up and going.
Yep.
So this is their yearly agreement.
I did have some comments on it. I got that on Thursday afternoon. It doesn't have our debarment language in there.
Okay.
So if you wanna, I don't know the urgency, if you wanna wait until next meeting or approve it with my changes, however, I don't know.
We can, I know that that's for anything over 25,000 and it's never been even close to that, I don't think. So it's up to you guys. We can add it or,
It's never been close to that amount.
no, because we only pay them a certain dollar amount.
Okay.
for
Is that okay? Do you
That's,
think
yeah, if you're okay with it, I'm fine with that. Yep. It's fine, okay by me then. The term is fine. You can terminate anytime with 30 days notice, so it's
I mean,
not.
If something crazy were to happen, and it says $125 for each parcel listed, if we ever did go over during the terms of this agreement, then what? Do we amend the
Well-
agreement?
Yeah, we
We
could
could,
say,
yeah.
hey, we're gonna, because we have the 30-day termination, right, we could say, hey, we need to terminate this agreement. And if you won't agree to a modification of the contract, we're gonna have to terminate it permanently, otherwise we need to amend it.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
think we have how many parcels, Kay, this year?
100.
100.
Which
It's like
that
Okay,
will,
yeah.
that will definitely change. The letters are going out today in the mail. Normally, we only have right around 35 to 40 at the sale.
Okay. Go ahead.
I would move to approve the agreement as presented with further information Tiffany provided.
I'll second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that motion carries. 2 members present. Wants to sign that copy? Is there, does it require more? Does it continue?
Yeah, I think it has.
There's like the exhibit, I think, too, yeah.
It's on the back
Two?
side of that page.
Well, if you wanna have her sign that one. That looks like it's the exact same thing.
So I guess sign here and print your name. I feel like there's something missing.
Yeah, I don't know if it has. Turned in there.
And you think maybe there's another exhibit to be signed in?
Yeah, there's that second, that's the signature page right there in front of you there.
Oh.
This one with all the lines on it. Yeah, there's an addendum, the tax sales support services addendum, and that's the signature page for that right there, that one.
maybe mine, but you can figure that out. Okay, the next item on the agenda is a recommendation on positions and compensation for the 2026 budget. So this is something that Jenny Shinneberry had found in a state statute several years ago that says commissioners must make a recommendation to council on matters related to compensation, so annual increases. So Jenny had provided us with some information
think I
coming into
read
the
it.
meeting. I may not have brought that in, but maybe we'll just have a conversation about that.
Yeah, so the information that Jenny provided us, I believe, was the last 5 years, and it showed what the federal government has given their employees as far as raises, the state, and then, so probation was under that because their raises are set by the state, and then there's what Whitley County has given. And obviously I don't have the paper in front of me, but it was something like federal's given, I think, 22% over the last 5 years. The state was 18 something, and Whitley County was 13 something. So it's a little hard to give a recommendation. Obviously that's not our role. It's commissioners, that's council's duty. But I think with that information, that's a powerful tool. So, and I do believe that council's going to be provided it. So I think based on that.
Something she put together ahead of budget.
I'll have to check and see if that was
a
in.
document, so.
I know that she has given them
Have you seen it,
numbers
Tom?
before.
So, yeah, it's just a comparison. What the federal cost of living allowance increases have been, what the state has given, and what the county government has given. And obviously, we've fallen a little behind on those annual increases. But again, I've said this in previous years too, I don't like this. I don't like that the state legislator or the statute would have commissioners give a recommendation to the fiscal body. It's the fiscal's body to figure out what the budget will look like. Not, I mean, obviously we work together, but I just don't, I think it's a stupid law. Some laws are stupid.
So I'm hearing about this for the first time, and I haven't seen this, and be happy to look at it. I don't know if you have the ability to make a determination that your recommendation is you don't have a recommendation.
Okay.
That is a possibility, but I can look at the statute. I don't know if you have to decide today. I don't know when their hearing is.
So what kind of timeline? I mean, we meet again once more before.
And then their public hearing's not
Council.
even until September for adoption in
So
October.
You want me to
Yeah,
take a look
time.
at that and see what the requirements actually are?
Yeah,
So you're
let's do
saying
that.
there could be an option that says you can't not give a recommendation?
Well, no,
You have
so
to-
I know there's other statutes where recommendations are required is, like you can, for example, in the planning world, for the planning, if they're gonna do a rezoning, the plan commission can either recommend do pass, recommend don't pass, or we don't have a recommendation.
Right.
I don't know if that's applicable in this situation, but I can take a look and see.
Yeah. And Jenny should be able, she's not here today,
Okay.
but she should be able to point you right to the statute.
Okay.
She did for me anyway, a couple of years back. So we'll move on from that and revisit this in probably our next meeting. And we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the ADA coordinator appointment. Brad, if you want to come forward and just kind of run through the Title VI and what the ADA coordinator is. Previously, we had Cammie appointed as our ADA coordinator. Cammie has moved to a different position within Whitley County government at the jail, and that left, it didn't make sense for her to continue to be the ADA coordinator. So you can take over from there.
So the ADA, or Americans with Disability Act, this is just our way of complying with that act to make sure that our facilities, including right-of-way facilities and building facilities, meet that law. So as the ADA coordinator is responsible for overseeing the assessment of whether we meet the law or not, and then overseeing the Title VI plans and policy and the transition plan. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know exactly which Title VI of what document and what it is titled, but
Yeah.
you know, it's basically, I think it's how it's trickled down from the feds to us.
Right.
And that's what it's called.
Yeah.
And so we have the ADA, or the Title VI plan and Title VI policy. And I think those are in front of you for signature.
Mhm.
Minor updates were made to them for personnel and important personnel and contact information. And then
I know that Commissioner Schuman reviewed thoroughly and found some things that were really dated that needed to be brought current. So we've all spent some time looking at it, and I don't think there's anything to sign for the plan itself. Probably just accept or approve the updated plan, and then approve the implementation plan.
And then appointment of the coordinator, I would assume is by resolution, and I didn't write up the list.
Okay, do you know, would it be a resolution to appoint?
Technically, a resolution doesn't have to be in writing, so you could just resolve to appoint whoever you're going to appoint without it being in writing, if it just takes a resolution
Okay,
by motion and show it in the minutes.
okay.
Well, I would make a verbal resolution to appoint Brett Allen as our Title VI coordinator.
And I will second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Anyone opposed, the same, and that passes with 2 members present. And then I would need a motion to accept the Title VI implementation plan.
So moved.
And I'll second and call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that motion carries with 2 members present. Some of the projects in the past have included the sidewalks in Donatello's Village, and what are some of the others?
So in addition to Donatello's Village and Del Sagno, there is the 30-point sidewalks are included in that project, as well as a trail head for a local neighborhood trail. And then on the facilities side, I was given a large 3D binder of all the work that maintenance has completed over the years, and I will process that and update the transition code accordingly, and then once I've gone through that, I'll bring it the updates.
Other things that have impacted us locally is like there used to be an exterior door to the restrooms before you would enter the interior door, and because that wasn't in compliance with this plan, we removed those doors. That was, I don't know, maybe 2017 when we did that.
They go pretty expensive. I remember one thing I saw in the assessment was like the pipes that come down from the bottom of the sink, and if they happen to be in the way of somebody's knees in a wheelchair, it's not compliant.
Right. Okay.
All on that.
Well, thank you very much, Brad. So the next item that we have on the agenda is with that. Should go on the back.
Okay.
Is the ordinance for court interpreter grant.
It's my understanding that we have to table it because
We can just
all
introduce it.
3 of us are.
Yeah, we can't pass it in one meeting because we don't have all 3 members here. But you can explain it, they can introduce it and then pass it the next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say thank you for the time here. I'm Amy, and I'm here on behalf of Judge Garza because he's on vacation. The court interpreter grant, we got approved for $2,500, and so that will help greatly with our in-person and our language line services that we use for our defendants. We need this ordinance so we can use the reimbursement grant that we have received.
No, I mean, I know, you know, we've heard multiple times that this is becoming more and more of an issue as we have more nationalities, more foreign-speaking languages being brought to the courts. And it's difficult to find actual interpreters, so
Yes.
what is the software again that we're
Um,
using, the technology that we're using?
It would be through Language Line,
Language
which was paid by the state.
Okay.
And now they're saying, no, sorry.
Right.
So we get to apply for a grant and then get reimbursed from that.
Yeah.
So it's 2,500. Our budget right now is $12,000, and last year we spent almost 10,000.
Okay.
So it's needed, because every year it just goes up and up and up.
Right. Well, this will be ordinance number 2025-13. And do we need to take any action?
We need to vote to introduce it, yeah.
So, I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance 2025-13.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that motion carries. So we'll be able to take action next meeting.
Do I need to come next
I don't
meeting
think
to
so. I
explain
mean,
everything?
I think you're okay. We get it. We know what's needed, so.
Perfect, thank you so much.
Yeah. The next item on the agenda is, we have a few conflict of interest forms that have been received. And the first one is from Melina Wheeler. Her husband has been hired or chosen to do the mowing at the old landfill site for, I don't even know how many years. I mean, for as long as I've been around, he's done this. And we have shopped in the past for a lower price, and he can't be beat. He does a great job. And so this conflict of interest form is just, we have a county employee whose spouse is doing work for the county, and obviously in light of what we learned as a result of our audit, you know, this is gonna become more of a thing that we're gonna address in our meetings. But of course, then the commissioners have to approve or accept the conflicts of interest. This one's pretty self-explanatory, and
So, I just noticed there's a few sections. Does all of it have to be filled out? I just noticed there's like a few.
No, there should be different types of conflicts on the form.
Okay.
And so they probably chose the one that was applicable.
Okay, because it kind of looks.
I see a copy of it.
Page 2. I just want to make sure we do this right when we get audited.
You talking about like H and I, the ones that are blank?
And like 4D, name of governmental entity, making the purchase.
Probably didn't fill that out because I probably don't know the answer to that.
And you're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
well, that would be us, right? I mean,
You had the county commissioners hired?
the county commissioners hire
Okay.
someone to mow the.
I didn't know if it was a different department or something that did it, or it came through you guys.
I mean, we've had maintenance, like county
Mhm.
maintenance, kind of do price shopping for us
Mhm.
before, but they don't really manage it. We pay the invoice. The commissioners do.
I can add that if you want. I'm sure she would be fine with that. Just not here to bring down.
Andy, do you think it's okay to approve this, or should we?
No, I think it's okay. I mean, I think that all the information is already contained in here. This is kind of duplicated, I can't say the word, but in there twice. It's asked the dollar amount, and says above has the dollar amount, so I think that it's fine. And
Okay.
it addresses the potential conflict, I think, appropriately.
Okay. I would move to approve this conflict of interest for Melina Wheeler.
And I'll second. And call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that motion carries unanimously. Is there a copy you'd like for us to sign, or should we just sign the copy?
Either way, doesn't
Do
matter.
they have a contract with the county?
No.
Okay.
Mowing at the landfill is driven by IDEM saying it's time to mow at the landfill. And that goes through SES, I believe, is the.
Yep, SES.
And SES does the monitoring, the methane monitoring and that sort of thing. So when they're ready to go do their biannual inspection, they'll normally call and say, we need the vegetation cut off so that we can inspect. And then we'll contact Nathan and say it's time to mow.
Okay.
And we have this one from Jennifer Stevenson, who most know is half owner of Shoes and More across the street. And the Sheriff's Department uses Shoes and More for purchases of footwear, and they, as a service, they also sew on patches, so they're having patches sewn on for uniform items. And the new conflicts of interest forms really don't allow for an annual conflict of
And
interest.
she followed up with State Board of Accounts too.
Yeah, it'll have to be per occurrence. And so, for this occurrence, she's turned in invoice numbers, which is great. There's multiple invoice numbers, but maybe just 4 listed. So I don't know, any questions about this one?
No, see, there's 2 sections. There's section 3 for when you have a written contract. Section 4, there's no contract. So that's why she only filled out section 4, because it's on an as-needed basis.
So we're looking at the first one.
Mhm.
I would move to approve this conflict of interest for Jennifer Stevenson.
And I'll second and call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And oppose the same, and that carries with 2 members present. And the next one is nearly the same. It's just for 3 additional invoices.
I would move to approve this conflict of interest.
I'll second and call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And oppose the same. That carries with 2 members present. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the 2026 Commissioners Meeting Schedule. Have you had a chance to review? I didn't see any issue. We had a brief conversation about possibly canceling a meeting, but we felt that we could do that when we get closer to the meeting for a lack of agenda. There's always that spring break week that no one is here, and there's maybe 2 or 3 items on the agenda. So we may look at that later in the year, but aside from that, I think we've got a pretty good schedule. All meetings will be at 1 p.m. and I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
And I'll second and call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that motion carries with 2 members present. And the next item on the agenda is we have a couple facility requests. First one is from Nikki Keister, but it's Columbia City Connect, and I believe there's a representative here from Columbia City Connect.
Do you need me to come up and explain?
It seems self-explanatory. Is there anything you'd like to add
Just
to
that
it?
the cars won't be on the lawn. It's
Okay,
just the
I
band
appreciate that.
Yes.
So this is for that car show that we've talked about in the past, where there was some confusion about whether they'd be parking cars on the lawn or not. So this one clearly states that it'll be the concrete pad on the north corner of the courthouse lawn and just for the band. The band will set up there. They won't be parking cars on the lawn. So they've removed any language that would suggest that. And the date requested is Saturday, August 2nd, and this is from 3:30 to 8:30 p.m.
I would move to approve.
Okay, I have a motion. I'll second and call for the vote. All those in favor, raise the right hand. And that motion carries with 2 members present. The next is from Vivian Sade, from the Whitley County Democrat Party, and they are requesting the use of the courthouse lawn, the square, from 1 to 3 p.m., and this would be on Saturday, August 30th, for a demonstration.
So moved to approve.
And I will second and call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that motion carries unanimously, or with 2 members present. I was able to go upstairs and review claims this morning and didn't see any issues, so I'll make a motion to approve accounts payable.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that motion carries with 2 members present. And I'll also make a motion to approve payroll.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that carries with 2 members present. Scott, I haven't forgotten about you. I'm about to get to you. The previous meeting minutes from July 7, have you had a chance to review?
Yes, I would move to approve.
Okay, I have a motion. I'll second the motion and call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that motion passes with 2 members present. As an add-on to the agenda today, this came in after the agenda was complete. We have a request for a well exemption. Scott Wagner from the Health Department is here. And we did receive the letter from Wheelers as well as the drawing.
Mr. Matheson's here and his wife are adding on to their garage. They are having to go for an appeal before the planning commission as well. But in order to accomplish that, they need to have this done as well. If you do agree to his exemption of being closer than 10 feet, which is the standard ordinance rule, they will sign an indemnification, and a health department exemption. Those will be recorded to the deed.
And the indemnification is indemnifying the
Yes,
health
commissioners.
department. Yeah, the commissioners. Okay. Any questions about the well exemption?
I would move to approve.
And I will second and open up for further discussion. Is there anything from legal?
No, I've never seen your indemnification form before. I mean, it's fine. I don't need to see it, but I would be interested
Mr.
in it.
Tyson, I'll send you a copy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that carries with 2 members present. Is there anything you need signature from us on for now?
Like I said, he'll sign it, we'll have it notarized in our office, recorded the deed immediately.
Okay,
Keep a copy of that.
great.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll open up for public comment. If anyone here today would like to come forward, now would be the time.
Paula Worton, Community Corrections. I just have a question on the conflict of interest. Is there any guidelines as far as if it would be our department, as far as price checking, what, like if it's less than $1,000, how many quotes should I get? Is there any type of guidelines?
There's a purchase policy.
Yeah, we have an approved
I
purchase
know
policy.
what that is, but it's not, like this would be $500 maybe once or twice a year that I'm expecting that they'll file for a conflict of interest. But I didn't know if you guys had any expectations.
Do you mean is there an exemption amount from even needing to file the conflict of interest?
No,
paperwork?
not to file it, but should I be prepared to say I've checked with 3 other people and this is the best price?
I don't think so. I don't think that was really
Okay.
part of it.
Okay.
I know that State Board of Accounts told us that it's, they consider an occurrence anything over the amount of $199. So basically $200 is a conflict of interest. So, you know, we're all learning. I said to them, I'm like, you know, it'd be really nice if somebody from the state would put out some work instructions on this.
Right.
And they said, that'd be really nice, but we don't know who would do it. I'm like, you're State Board of Accounts. And they said, well, somebody would have to do that, but we don't know who would do it.
I just want to make sure as a department head, if I go with someone, that I also have the information you would need to support us going forward. with that
Yeah,
person.
no, I mean, whoever has the conflict of interest, if they're just detailed in their request, then I don't think we'll have any questions. And if we do, we'd probably reach out ahead of the meeting instead of asking them. I know I appreciated Melina Wheeler asking ahead of this meeting if she needed to be here. She was fully prepared to be here, and I said, I don't see why you would need to be here. Everything's on the form. So,
All right, I appreciate it. Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you.
Hi. Sorry for the late nature of this. I think you were told ahead of time. I have this plan sheet for our striping project, for the inbound project, and it's supposed to have the commissioner's signatures on it. I have the signature block here.
Yeah, yep. So this is for the federal grant, right, for
Yes.
striping?
Yeah.
And remind everyone what the project is. What are they striping?
So we are striping approximately 21.2 miles of centerline yellow striping across the county on recently paved roads.
Yep.
And we got some federal money to help stripe roads.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it's just part of the packet NDOT that the plans have the local agencies executives sign.
Okay. Do we need to vote on this, Andy, or do we
I'm
just?
not-
is
are we-
this-
It's just,
We've already,
it's the typical.
You've already
series
approved the
format.
project, right?
already approved it.
Yeah.
We're,
You know, when in doubt, vote. You might as well just vote for it. Since
Okay.
they're here in front of you. I'm not exactly sure what
yep,
this is in
can
addition to.
we see
but-
this?
So this would just get reduced down if that's somewhere on
I think you're probably, it sounds like you're approving the application to the state.
the. This is just approving the plan set that yes, we approve this project to get constructed as drawn.
Okay, I guess that's what you're voting on.
Oh, yeah.
I would move that we sign the signature page for the striping project for the federal grant.
I'll second. And then call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And that motion carries, 2 members present.
Thank you very much again, sorry for the last minute.
Yep, that's all right. Thanks for reminding me. It was brought up before the meeting and I had already forgotten.
It's okay.
So did I.
Anyone else for public comment? Hearing none, I'll close public comment. Andy, is there anything that you'd like to add today?
Nothing.
Tiffany, anything? I hope that conference goes well for you and Tamala, and I hope that you can come back with a wealth of knowledge about Senate enacted bill or whatever one, and what that might mean for us. Anyway, happy learning. Anything, Commissioner Basinger?
Nothing.
I have nothing else to add, so I will adjourn the meeting.